a dying song. This is my one escape. Am I still on my face? But they have known I've been here all along. Looks like I better run for my life. I'll never be in one piece. C95, I've got 11 on my tail. No time to think of a way to survive. Mechanical instinct. like a moth to the flame. I've wandered too close to come home. I'm ready now, ready for nights burned away from the sun's glory. Days lifeless ashes give way to this lone wolf afraid. I will carry the light and build on the piles with my bones. The soldier consumed by the earth, burdened down, last to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrificed into flame. Now fed as kindling, they all burn the same, with warmth to stave off the end. I'll quench the sinner's desire to let there be fire. Hollow light, new rebirth, set forth the soldier consumed by the earth, burdened down, that's to die, laden with monstrous souls deep inside, sacrificed into flame. Now fed as kindling, they all burn the same, with warmth to stave off the end. I'll quench the sinner's desire to let there be fire again. Eternal affairs seem to raise our spirits in great despair through the ashes of oblivion. Quick and unseen like the dragon's offspring, for we owe no debts and bow to no king. Every war has its cost and we've paid, won by the bond of the body we've made. War with the call that the battle starts now. As the demons listen, we strike them down, fighting back the rifts of blood. Sent from the sky like an angel in need, give them news to strengthen and words to heed. Heaven's doors are set alight, we're knocking on the gates of hell tonight. Swords and dragons' bones scattered on the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the roll our heels down, shed the tales and legends told, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered out this fighting from his throne. So we sing our triumphant song. Play out a spell in your sequence of chords to inspire and sharpen our rusted swords, echoing the whisper of the trees. Creep on the path where 1,000 paths fail, from the thick Westirian jungle trails. Come from afar to set prisoners free, to dark tangled depths from the open sea. Swords and dragons' bones scattered all the way back home, approaching. So keep alert and on your feet. An ancient spirit song will heal our wounds, unabashed by our defeat. Spot the bloodstains on these cobble streets, a message to the gods to see us through. Get really sung, so raise your voice and praise the sun. Call a new rebirth to keep us strong. Countless souls along the path, lost to fiends and lost of wrath, will return to play our final song. Dragons' bones scattered on the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. In the road our heels down, shattered tales and raging storm, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered out this fighting for his throne. So we sing a traveler's song. Breath in the candlelight, lost hearts in the dead of night. It's a long way down to the place they found. Dark sun, hallowed by the fade, our debt, they live to be paid. Sing the blackness stare, promising to spare the chosen. Graves and left below, painted ashes, painted snow. When the dark awakens, fires of our last hope are getting low. Souls of gods and souls of men, meeting cinders to ascend. Fate has chosen and a fading light is at its end. Judgment born in frost, then he took a name for the one profaned. Know the dark but let it rest, left to lurkers in their quest. Let the watchers fight in the blood ignite. The chosen, full of graves and left below, painted ashes, painted snow. When the dark awakens, fires of our last hope are getting low. Souls of gods and souls of men, beaten cinders to ascend. Fate has chosen and a fading light is at its my friend. Praise for the feast of humanity's end. Left below, painted ashes, painted snow. When the dark awakens, fires of our last hope are getting low. Souls of gods and souls of men, meeting sinners to ascend. Fate has chosen and a fading light is at its end. and the last of my crusades. You're the Red Hood's last contender, and the first one unafraid. I'm regretful to have hurt you, but this world's blood must be spilled. I'll return home as a monster from this bad dream that I killed. As decay is closing in, and the kiss of deadly silence has been placed upon my skin. For the code we're bound to follow, you have led my last crusade. Now we're swallowed by the city as it fades. I will shield you from the darkness when the walls around us quake. I will hold back all the monsters until my bones begin to break. And when I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears that fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain. Requiem for sunlight, hide away now from the dark. To me the anger deep is calling, tearing me apart. Somehow the whispers do command me when the abyss has taken hold. Now carry on in glory when I grow cold. I will shield you from the darkness when the walls around us quake. I will hold back all the monsters until my bones begin to break. And when I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears that fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain. cobblestones have changed, thrones is broken and corrupted as the games they used to play. And though the midnight hounds are howling, there's collective hope to keep. You will make your many missteps, but heaven is still running deep. There is poison in the water and cursings in the air. It'll humble your ambition when you stop by playing fair. Risk your assets on a gamble and you'll have to pay it back. When you're dealing with a demon, don't you bet on red or black. In the rain of the night, crusading in the black, feast of famine, building bonds and stealing leather. Meet again in defeat, we would be because nothing we are forever. When we go down together. When the upper hand is handed to our final enemy, you are beaten down, your luck is out, but you can count on me. It's a picture of the nation to be calling once again, but I felt it too and carried through our pieces to the end. It might be hopeless in the moment, with the fate we come upon. We've all had our lives extinguished, but those threats before are gone. Death is reared its many heads, so where we lack we lend a hand. Though the darkness tries to take us in, yet desolate we stand. In the rain of the night, crusading in the black, feast of famine, building bonds and stealing leather. Meet again in defeat, we would be because nothing we are forever. When we go down together. We go down together. Well, you fell so far from body and it's cracked your very core. We're all piecing back together our remembrance of before, but it's still surviving fragments. We find raging up for war, and the fire of coalition keeps us coming back for more. We will stumble on our journey and we'll barely be alive. We betrayed each other's safety, but forgiveness must abide, because friendships were in danger in the deepest of divides. But we'll know this being united, facing danger from all sides. We bruise and bleed, no you won't give to defeat, because we are going down till we're down together. Stealing leather, meet again in defeat, we would be because nothing we are forever. When we go down together. We go down together. Cobblestones have changed, thrones is broken and corrupted as the games they used to play. And though the midnight hounds are howling, there's collective hope to keep. You will make your many missteps, but heaven is still running deep. There is poison in the water and cursings in the air. It'll humble your ambition when you stop gamble and we'll have to pay it back. When you're dealing with a demon, don't you bet on very black. In the rain of the night, crusading in the black, feast of famine, building bonds and stealing leather. Meet again and defeat, we would be because in nothing we are forever. When we go down together. When the upper hand is handed to our final enemy, you are beaten down, your luck is out, but you can count on me. It's a picture of the nation to be calling once again, but I felt it too and carried through our pieces to the end. It might be hopeless in the moment, with the fate we come upon. We've all had our lights extinguished, but those threats before are gone. Death is weird, it's many hits, so where we lack we lend a hand. Though the darkness tries to take us in, yet decently we stand. In the rain of the night, crusading in the black, feast of famine, building bonds and stealing leather. Meet again and defeat, we would be because in nothing we are forever. When we go down together. Still surviving fragments, we find raging up for war, and the fire of coalition keeps us coming back for more. We will stumble on our journey, and we'll barely be alive. We betrayed each other's safety, but forgiveness must abide, because friendships were in danger in the deepest of divides. But we'll know this being united, facing danger from all sides. We bruise and bleed, no you won't give to defeat. Cause we are going down till we're down together. Down together. crossroads and hell on earth. A devil's deal for a new rebirth. I've given my all and day by day my soul still breaks. I can remember crossing the line when ushered into a darker time. Though we were in agony, you laughed to me in your way. can you see my face? And do you taste my pain in this blood-stained place? Forever on the attack, I'm fighting into the black. Without you, without you, when the scars reveal all the sins you chose, and how betrayed I feel in my fractured bones. For us there's no turning back, I'm fighting into the black. Without you, without you. Still hanging on for the White House fall. When vengeance comes in, I heed the call. With every time I plunge the steel, I'm seeing you. You once had used my desire to kill, granted me hope with a quiet thrill. I watched as you changed the world around me, cut in two. When I curse your name, can you see my face? And do you taste my pain in this blood-stained place? Forever on the attack, I'm fighting into the black. Without you, without you, when the scars reveal all the sins you chose, and how betrayed I feel in my fractured bones. For us there's no turning back, I'm fighting into the black. Without you, without you. I guess I gambled and lost when fate shuffled our decks. Now that I suffer the wrath of your mad god complexes, I follow the path where the darkness collects so much death. What for, what for, what for? Though I'm losing control, I can't give up the chase. No time for mourning the loss of what hatred replaced. The lies belly a soul behind my changing face. I will break no more, no more, no more. you chose and how much weight I feel in my fractured bones. For us there's no turning back. I'm fading into the black without you, without you, without you, without you, without you, without you. Long ago, I was worn down and abused. The strongest took the spoils and then we fell down at their shoes. But now they are gone and my sanity's kept by my chains. So I bear them both in faith and hate for family and all that remains. Not for gods, nor the coming of night. If I'm the last of the men to fall, then as warriors growing in might. For fear and for love and survival when push comes to shove. The red is coming to take you home, the bearer of soul and of light. The castles long and rolling, and the paintings faded blue. So here, now you stand. We are human, yet both something new. The last prize has been taken. Now the red hood faces you. Fight to ignite, not for gods, nor the coming of night. If I'm the last of the men to fall, then his warriors growing in might. For fear and for love, and survival when push comes to shove. The red is coming to take you home, the bearer of soul and of us won't make it back. We're following into the black, unknown for a long lost throne. We'll rise again, where others might look for escape. These lights in the dark search for grace, once lost to a blood-soaked cause. I will rise, here in the ashes, balanced and whole, endlessly searching for power and soul. At the end of all the ages, in the last of my crusades, you're the red hood, last contender, but your world must fade away. Though Christmas and success are loyal the same, returning to us through the dark and the flame. When those rise against have it written on their graves, our soul was claimed by immortal names. Fight to ignite, not for cause or the coming of night. And find the last of the men to fall, and this warrior is growing in might. For fear and for love, and survival when push comes to shove. The wind is coming to take you home, the bearer of soul and of light. We'll die again at the fire's end, over and over. At the end of time, we will testify. We rise again. Servants of a lesser God, they thought it stood to reason to crucify the treason. Redemption came from triggers pulled, young and weak thrown to the wolves. I feel them, I feel them. One in all and all for some, the desperate carry loaded guns. Peace was lost to violence, the righteous stood in silence. Inaction of those who knew betrayed the remaining few. I feel them, I feel them. Here we stand on holy ground. I have heard the thunderous sound of millions saying, wake up, set us free. system behind all the scenes. Humanity's darkest hour, I will not run, and I can save the soul still under this bleeding sun. More than a human army of one, God of the wasteland, the bleeding sun, fully ascended, the key inside, immortal angels destined to die. Days in Neverland grow darker, the forbidden moments come to a hasty resolution. When the battle starts with one, take me to the water where the river meets the sea. Let the memory of rising tide come washing over me. I saw fire consume the trusting with the victims still naive, and so they bleed, and so they bleed. Singing grief for requiem, the curse of a millennium. These souls keep whispering from the riverbeds. An end to all these violent means, a light in these rainwater dreams. Their haunted burdens stirring in my head, on streets still running red. One of us sees a glitch in the system, someone's been hiding in plain sight. One of us set the gears in motion, someone's in from the other side to break us, take us on our knees, to sabotage the movement we uphold. So I've been told, losing, let the broken heroes rise, let the victors take their prize. No one wins when justice dies. War has let this age begin, it's where we've gone and where they've been. What a state that we're in, here in oblivion. Skies remind me behind the veil. I think it's wonderful how I lost the part I need the most, like I was born to down through the roof. We are live wires in the crossfire, and the pages of our lives are bulletproof. I'm a dead man in the wasteland. I'm a soldier fighting for superstition. Other searchlights in the long nights, we've been written like dystopian fiction. So let them burn the ones to walk the road of love. I'm 10,000 miles from home, and I don't wanna disappear. Where do we go from here? Nobody wants to play useless part in matters of the heart. I'm standing here so far away, wish you well someday. Light a candle for the cause, we bite the teeth, we showed our claws, and here we are today. We drove their tyranny away. Now take a second to inquire where you should bend this growing fire. Listen to our freedom cry, here to rebuild or here to die. Give the ending just a little flavor if you're going down the break as well. It's too late for a savior, but it's never too late for us. Destined to die, never to bend your mind.